Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Global Youth Forum Student Information Session. And so we still have a lot of students on the way to the forum. Just bear with me. Let me let them in. Okay. Hello, everyone. Say hi to each other. We have students from Victoria, Australia, Indonesia, South Korea, and India. Okay, I think this is our pre-party before our big day on the 31st of August. Okay, welcome everyone. Okay, let me check. No one is in the. So if you can turn on your camera, that would be fantastic. Excellent. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being punctual. Excellent. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Bo. How are you? I'm just busily admitting people as they're coming in.
Excellent. Thank you for helping out. Hello, everyone. And let's wait another minute. Okay. Thank you so much for being punctual. And this is the Victorian Young Leaders Global Youth Forum Student Information Session. Okay. So today we are already having students from all over the Asia Pacific. We have students from India, Indonesia, as well as in South Korea. Fantastic.
So fantastic. I'm just scrolling through all of the images. It's great to see everyone sitting, some of you sitting in classrooms, some of you at home. I think for some of you it's very early in the morning, so we appreciate you getting up early. Some people are still coming in.
Yep, still coming. Really good. Yeah. All right, everyone, let's try our very first task is to rename yourself. Actually, I'm going to rename myself too. I'm going to add, I'm from an organization called Asia Education Foundation at the University of Melbourne. So my name is Bo. I'm going to rename myself as AEF _ and Bo. So if you can rename yourself using the format of the abbreviation of your school name and the group name. Okay, so if you are from India, and please put ID at, IN at the beginning. If you're from Indonesia, that's ID. If you are from China, that's CN. South Korea, this KR. So if you're from Victoria, just the abbreviation of your school name. See if we have, let's try that. Okay, let's get started. Sarah, if you can help me just let people in, that would be great.
Yeah, we're up to 60 now, 60 screens we've got here, which is great.
Excellent.
I'll keep doing that.
Yeah, so on the day, we are expecting 600 students from across Victoria, Australia, and Asia Pacific. Okay.
That's so exciting.
I know it's one of the biggest forums this year at AEF. And we have another Korean students join. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And specifically for students joining us from South Korea, we know this at the moment is your summer holiday. Thank you so much for being with us and during your break. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Right, and let me double check. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Formally welcome you to the VYL or Victorian Young Leaders Global Youth Forum student briefing. So my name is Bo, and I am the Education Programs Coordinator at Asia Education Foundation at the University of Melbourne. So today, joining me in this information session, we have AEF's Executive Director, Dr. Sarah Richardson. Sarah.
Hi everyone, great to see all of you. I'm really excited to be here. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic program. And yeah, great to see all of those faces from around the world.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. And also we have a colleague based in Victoria, and he is Sensu Shin. Okay. Hi, Sensu. Do you want to say hi to students?
Yeah, good morning or good afternoon to you. So nice to meet you. And you might someone aware of it. Actually, I'm a Korean, so maybe some Koreans are aware of it. And also nice to meet you all of from globe Asian countries. Thank you.
Fantastic. So Mr. Sensu Shin is helping us liaising with schools from South Korea. And also we have colleagues who are based in Jakarta, Indonesia. And Farah, hand over to you.
Thank you, Bo. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome to the student briefing. And I hope you enjoy the Global Youth Forum like I did with the other students before. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Farah. And so at AEF, we have a diverse range of language expertise and cultural backgrounds. And so all of my multilingual speaking facilitators will be helping out in breakout rooms and to facilitate any discussions. Okay, so this program is an initiative of Victorian Department of Education for our overseas students. So we are based in Melbourne, so it's part of a state called Victoria. So this program is fully funded by the state government, the Victorian Department of Education. So we at Asia Education Foundation, we work closely with the department to deliver this program. Okay, so now I would like to invite Dr. Sarah Richardson to acknowledge the country.
Thank you so much, Bo. So for students outside of Australia, we always like to start any meeting, or event by acknowledging the traditional owners of country throughout Australia. And what you will see on this map is that we have many different Aboriginal nations around Australia. So I'd like to provide my acknowledgements to traditional owners of country throughout Australia and pay respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And this program is particularly involving students in Victoria. And so for those of you who live in Melbourne, I'd particularly like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and again, acknowledge their elders. And on behalf of AEF, I'd like to recognize and acknowledge the tens of thousands of years of history of education that has happened amongst First Nations peoples in Australia. Thank you, Bo.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. And I think for our international students, so this is our very first piece of very important intercultural understanding knowledge. It's about acknowledging the country. And so, so for today's session, the learning intentions, we have 5. So first, we're trying to help you understand what Global Youth Forum is. What do we learn about? What do we do during the 3-day youth forum? And the second learning intention is to understand the key learning activity for the forum. And apparently it's an online forum, and we use a different, we use a wide range of learning activities. For example, some are online, some are offline in your classroom, some are individual work, some are, group work. Okay, and the third one is we're going to just use Zoom. Apparently, we're on Zoom now. It's a video conferencing software, and in terms of student collaboration work, it normally happens in the breakout rooms on Zoom and using Padlet or Mural. Okay, so now let's just use the virtual reaction function, something like this, or a love heart to indicate the response for the following question. Okay, give me a love heart. Okay, a love heart if you have used Padlet before in your classroom. Okay, so on the bottom of the this platform, Zoom, and we have an emoji called reactions. So if you click on reactions, there's a few icons pops up. Okay, there's a love heart, there's applause or thumbs up. Okay, laugh out loud and congratulations, and also a teacup. Okay, fantastic. We have some Victorian students put their love heart up. That means they have used Padlet before. Okay, so give me an open mouth emoji if you never used Padlet before. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Very good, definitely. Okay, we have fantastic. Yeah, all right. Mural. Mural is like a massive online whiteboard. Okay, we all can, all the students can, 600 students can jump on this massive whiteboard, interactive online whiteboard. So please give me a thumbs up. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you have used the software called Mural before. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you have used the software called Mural. Okay, Mural before. I see not many students. That's fine. Excellent. And also some students from MAC say, some of us have used Padlet and some of us have not. It's good to know. Thank you. So for your safety and also help you to concentrate more, we disabled the chat function between students. However, you can always put a message in the chat box, and all the message will directly send to our AEF staff members. Okay. Please, another one, give me this one. Ta-da. Okay, a ta-da emoji. Okay, if you haven't used Mural before. If you haven't used Mural before. Excellent. Okay, you see, because this is an online platform, it's an online forum, we use various ways of interacting with each other. And so I really encourage you, to use those reactions to support your peers. Because, for example, in the main forum, we call, at the moment, this is called a main session. Okay, main session or main room. And as opposed to breakout rooms. Okay. So we're going to try that as well later. Okay, so in the main room, sometimes we'll ask you someone to unmute themselves and share, the discussion they just had. So this is in the main room. So also during the session, I'll let you know the things we need to do before the forum. For example, for all the Victorian students, you are required to sign a media release form, as well as a code of conduct form. And the last one, towards the end, you will have the opportunity to ask any questions. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to pop that in the chat box as well. Okay, so this is a global youth forum. We are engaging with peers from all across the Asia Pacific. So we have a time difference. Okay, so for this 3-day program, it always starts at 9 a.m., concludes at 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Or AEST. For students from overseas, Australia is a very big country, and from the West Coast and East Coast, there are time differences, okay? So here in Melbourne, at the moment, we use Australian Eastern Standard Time. So in summer time, we use daylight saving time. So at the moment, we have 1 hour time difference with South Korea, and a 2-hour difference with China, 3-hour time difference with Indonesia, and India. Oh, I can't even do the math. Multiple hours. Okay. So we always encourage our students, international students, to join in about 11 a.m. Melbourne time or Eastern Standard Time. However, you are more than welcome to join us 9 a.m. in the 9 a.m. Okay, so early this year, we had a youth forum. We worked with students from India, and all the students from India, they got up at 4:30 a.m. and to be part of this program. We were so impressed. And feel free to join us early if you want to. Yeah, no problem at all. So the first day and the third day, the first day is 31st of, let me try to use. Okay, so for day 1, 31st of August, okay, so 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that means all the students, okay, will be in day 1 as well as day 3. Okay, for day 2 of the program, you have 3 options. Your teacher will choose either the Friday, the 1st of September, Tuesday, the 5th of September, or Wednesday, the 6th of September. Okay, so we deliver the same content, same session, just different date. Okay, your teacher will need to choose one of the dates. Yesterday, I had a meeting with your teacher already, so they are fully aware of this. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little video, okay? It's a snapshot of the Global Youth Forum we did last year. So in this video, you're gonna see students sharing their opinions on issues such as globalization and global citizenship. And also we invited some guest speakers. They're all youth leaders across Australia to come and talk to the students. So the key learning concepts of all of our Victorian Young Leaders program are global citizenship. What does it mean to be a global citizen? Okay, and also what is identity and what is culture? Okay, so these are the key concepts. Have a look at this video.
Good morning, students, teachers.
Just checking, can you hear the sound? Yeah, all good? Yeah.
University students and guests to the 2022 Victorian Young Leaders Global Youth Forum. So when you ask persons what type of citizen you are, like if you're a good or bad citizen, and a good one's got to have respect for their country, different cultures and different religions, and they've got to be open-minded and change as many things as they can, big or little, because the little things will add up in the end.
For us, global citizen is someone who has an awareness of the world and how human actions can impact on it. They're curious about the environment, nature, human cultures, geology, and economics, and how they all connect with each other.
In order to become a good global citizen, we must have a respect and kindness to other people. And we also need to have a willingness to learn other culture and also be open-minded.
I think people become a global citizen when people start realizing that they don't live alone in this world, and knowing there's other people who live on this planet.
A global citizen should be somebody that's involved in politics, the community, and helps other people, respects other people.
To be a global citizen, you need to be aware of other cultures without forgetting your own. And you need to be open-minded.
Being a global citizen is about respecting others, respecting our different, and knowing that we're not living alone in this world. Global citizens have to have a sense of care and empathy for others around the world.
Being a global citizenship, you have to speak your own opinion and advocate for the things you're passionate most. You also need to be aware of the world and respond to change.
So how do you become a global citizen is that we need to have the value of it, respect each other's to think more progressively about our country and globally, of course.
We talked about like how globalization allowed like cultures and people to spread all around the world and people to connect. During the pandemic, we were able to use technology to learn and get more knowledge and information. And we were able to connect with people on social media.
The other skills as a global citizen and as a leader, I think really listening to others. It's so important that we've got to remember that as leaders, we're not here to serve ourselves. As a leader, we're here serving other people. And what I mean by service is that you're representing someone. Each and every one of you who are here today are representing the school, representing your group, representing your peers. How are you making sure that their voices are heard on this platform?
Make sure you are yourself. You are, you really believe in what you do. You are doing this for the right intentions. And I believe that we can slowly, one conversation at a time, change the world.
Excellent. So towards the end, when we talk about you have to believe in yourself, no, that's actually it's about identity. Who do we think we are? Okay. So we can be multiple, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a teacher. At the same time, I'm a student. So all of these, labels, they help us to form how we perceive ourselves. So that's identity. All right, so identity and culture is very important key learning content for this forum. Okay. So during the day, you're gonna see something like this, just like today. Okay, so if you would like to, share in the main room or in the main session, you can raise your virtual hand. Let's do a quick test. Okay, so click on that reaction emoji. Okay, and also at the bottom is a raise hand. Okay, let's all of us raise our hand. Let's practice. Okay, please raise your virtual hand. Okay, good. I can see. So someone is clapping. That's good. But raise your hand. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, raise your hand. Fantastic. Okay, so, and then now please lower your hand. Okay, lower your hand. Press the same tab. And once you've raised your hand, and actually there's icon called lower hand. Okay, let's lower our hand. Good, fantastic. So that's when we during the forum when we're going to ask you to anyone would like to share. Okay, so that's when if you would like to share, please raise your hand. All right, fantastic. Let's move along. Okay, you can see just like today, you are either, if you, let's say from overseas, and if you're going to join this program, because we know some students from other countries, they are the only student from their school to be part of this program. In that case, feel free to join our forum from your home, okay, on your own device. We highly encourage you, if you're based in Victoria, if you are in the school setting, please join us in a group. Okay, just as you can see on the left-hand side of this of the slide. Okay, so these are the key learning intentions. So hands up, okay, if you have heard this term called United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG. Okay. Please raise your hand if you have heard about something called SDG, or Sustainable Development Goals. Fantastic. We have, wow, 22, 23 of the participants have known this. Fantastic. Okay. For students who are not familiar with this concept, okay, just Google SDG. Okay, United Nations, SUNs, okay, SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. Simply Google it. You have all the required information. Okay, you can just do some self-learning before you come to the forum. There are 17 goals proposed by the United Nations, and they're calling for people from all different countries to work together to tackle those challenges. So for this upcoming forum, okay, now please lower your hand. Okay, please lower your hand. So for this upcoming Global Youth Forum, we are going to focus on SDG number 4, which is called quality education. Okay, so if you go to the official site of Sustainable Development Goals, you can find actually there are multiple sub-targets, okay, under the goal number 4. Okay, and so let's have a look at the left-hand side of the learning intentions. So throughout the 3 days, we're going to help you, and we're going to have a lot of discussions about what does it mean to be a global citizen, in today's world. Okay, we are going to focus on SDG number 4 and key concepts such as globalization, identity, and culture. Okay, you're going to collaborate with peers across the Asia Pacific. And the reason I ask you to put your country name as abbreviation at the beginning, so when we create out those breakout rooms, so my colleagues can create multiple, international breakout rooms, so you'll have the chance to meet peers from other countries. And so we encourage you to think about how we can be kind to everyone, no matter who we are, and how we can be more understanding of each other's differences. And my colleague from the Melbourne Science Gallery is part of the University of Melbourne. And so we are collaborating with them, and they're going to scaffold you to develop an action plan or a prototype to address a local challenge. And I can see my colleague, Matt, is already there. Just bear with me, Matt, and just 1 second. And so, and during the forum, and you have a lot of opportunities to share your ideas either with your school classmates or peers from other countries. Definitely, you're going to practice public speaking skills. And also, we have invited a guest speaker. His name is Kano, and he is a multiple TED Talk speaker, and he's going to come and talk to you about how to be an efficient public speaker. So all of this program is very action oriented. Okay, we don't want to just teach you things. We are facilitators. Okay, we are not teachers. You actually know more than us collectively. Okay, so the SDG number 4, quality education. What can we do as young people to help tackle the education challenges? So these are some of the things you can do. Okay, but this just some examples. By showing these slides, I just want you to think about what can you actually do to help create, equitable and comprehensive and inclusive quality education in the world. Okay, so these are the things, all the different types of learning activities. You will have the chance to talk with guest speakers, industry experts, and we're going to read some, you're going to have some videos and reading materials around SDG. You are going to have the chance to have discussions in breakout rooms in your own school groups, okay, and to develop an action plan. So now I'm going to hand over to my colleague, okay, Matt Dow. And Matt, he's a educator from University of Melbourne's Science Gallery. Okay, so this year, this is our first time. So we work together to deliver the Global Youth Forum. So for each day after lunch, so that's, you know, Matt and his team's platform. Okay, they're going to guide you through and think about how can we develop a prototype using this learning method called design sprint, okay, to come up with a solution. Okay, now I'm going to hand over to Matt, and Matt is going to give you a brief introduction about, you know, his work and what does Science Gallery Melbourne do, and so what his plan is about during the afternoon sessions.
Thanks, Bo. You've pretty much covered it all, which is great. You've done my job for me, which I love. Sorry, I'm a bit late, everybody. We've got a school in with us today, and I was just refereeing a drone soccer match. So had to make sure that was all set before I got here. My name is Matt. If you need them at all for any of the program, my pronouns are he, him. I am one of the facilitators at a place called Science Gallery Melbourne. There's also a Science Gallery in Bengaluru, which some of you may be a bit closer to. Science Gallery is this amazing space where we take science and we take art and we smash them into each other and we see what falls out. And so we have everything from a machine that will read your brainwaves. So you put on a piece of medical equipment, it reads your brain, and then it 3D models your brain waves into a shape that it then 3D prints out so you can hold your thoughts in your hands. Everything from that to making waffles out of insects, flying drones for sport, and all sorts of other things. And we use a framework to do all of those things called design thinking. And that's what we're going to be talking about each afternoon of the forum. And you're going to be doing what we call a design sprint. And when I say sprint, it means we're going to be doing it very quickly. We're going to be doing lots and lots of work in a very small amount of time. And we're going to guide you through that. So we're going to start on day one by having some really big conversations about what challenges you guys see in education, what challenges you're coming up against, and what challenges some experts that you're going to speak to see in education. On day two, once we've found a big problem that's worth solving, we're going to start to think up what solutions there could be to solve that problem. And we're going to work through a whole series of different activities to develop up a solution that we could apply locally in our schools, in our communities, to help improve the quality of education around us. And then on day three, we're going to prototype that. We're going to make a big storyboard. We're going to make some other materials to help us to pitch that back to some experts that are going to come in. We've got expert educators from all around the world who are going to come and they're going to listen to your ideas, and you are going to be selling them on your amazing solutions to solve those problems for you locally. So it's going to be an awesome time. I'm really looking forward to it. My background is in education, but also design and architecture. So I love problem solving. I'm looking forward to solving some really big problems with you guys over the next week.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So as Matt just mentioned, you can see all the afternoon sessions after lunch, we call it design sprint. Okay, something very, very quickly, and we're going to ask you to work with each other. And so this is the kind of the structure of the 3-day program. So basically from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, that's our first section. That's in red, communication skill. And so for day one, we're talking about speaking strategies because you have the opportunity to chat with students from other schools or other countries. So let's take it easy. And day two, we focus on public speaking. And day three, we focus on presentation skills because we were expecting you to have a group presentation towards the end of day three to a group of experts we invited. And so during from 11 o'clock all the way to the lunchtime, normally around 12:30 or 1 o'clock, I can't remember. And so that's our key concepts. For day one, we focus on globalization and global citizenship. So globalization is this overarching, environment where we live. And so we as global citizens, and we have to work together, right? So what are those, characteristics of being a global citizen? We're going to discuss about that. And also we invited a guest speaker to interact with you around sustainability. Okay, so for day two, we are going to use this analogy called culture iceberg. Okay, give me a thumbs up, okay, if you have heard the term cultural iceberg analogy. Okay, we have some few students. Excellent. Okay, so can I ask a volunteer? Okay, how about CLC to share with us what's your understanding? Okay, let's do a trial. In the main forum, okay, during the session, in the main session, we're going to ask some of you to share in this main session. So can you tell, I'm going to share my screen as well while you are explaining. So can I ask someone from your school to explain to us what is this cultural iceberg? Oh, we have students from Indonesia. They're ready. Okay, off you go. Okay, please. Okay, you can unmute yourself and I'm going to spotlight you for everyone. Okay.
Right. Voice check. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So we're talking about culture icebergs. As we know, icebergs are usually a metaphor for, say, the internet. And the internet iceberg is what stuff you see on top is not something you would see under the surface of the water. So I think the culture iceberg is something that how deep a culture is. Like the stuff you see on top is not usually the stuff you would find at the bottom of the water. So I think a culture iceberg represents how deep a culture or some collection of a culture is. Thank you.
Fantastic, spot on, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, so culture is a very complex, term. And sometimes we can only see the top, for example, language, food, or music, something quite visible. What we don't know actually is a massive chunk of those unobservable part of the culture iceberg. For example, people's beliefs, people's, thoughts, okay, people's values. If we don't really understand, trying to understand the bottom part of the iceberg, we're going to make a lot of assumptions, and that's where stereotype is from, okay, and leading to conflicts during international collaboration or interaction. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. So I won't reveal too much. So cultural iceberg. Okay, if you have already know, good. If you don't, okay, you might like do some research, okay, before the session. All right. So during day three, because we would like you to practice your presentation based on the prototype you designed with Matt. And so we're gonna during day three, you have a lot of opportunities to practice in breakout rooms and get some feedback.
Di sini berhenti. Berhenti. Ya, I'm sorry gitu bilang. Kok hilang kamu? Saya adain.
Saya tiba-tiba connect di itu.
Sinyal wifi deh. Wifi ke wifi bermasalah.
And oversight, security, consent, balancing benefits and harm, long-term impact, and ethical use cases. Thank you.
Do you guys think that AI has the potential to be more ethical than organic intelligence?
Yes, because another thing and the one simple just change our life.
Discrimination as well. So yeah, certainly a few ethical considerations to think about when we're looking at AI. Yeah, so the same so so yeah, you had your hand up.
Iya. And
Ya itu kak, yang when it comes to perbandingan positif negatif setiap orang itu bisa
example.
ada contoh apa ya?
Family ya. Family controversial life over the Student does not cross boundaries very professional attribute. What the best ethical consideration
and so
consideration.
Fantastic. What do you think some of the ethical considerations are when we're considering AI when it comes to assumptions, stereotypes?
Age, weight, occupation, skin color, gender, and the others. Gender and gender.
Maybe sometimes we can stereotype people based on the
Yeah,
way
right.
you dress or the way you identify another group. Actually, just to link to a Padlet as well. So if someone
Can you hear me, guys?
okay, stereotype is a widely held but oversimplified and generalized belief or idea about particular group of people or thing. And a stereotype is a sorry is a, often based on superficial characteristics which can lead to unfair judgment or bias. Sorry. Sudah gitu apa aku? Iya. Tak paham.
Yes.
Iya, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Do you guys think there is a difference between an assumption and a stereotype?
Perbedaan.
Perbedaan.
One of the other groups was saying the was from another saying if you see someone with lots of tattoos, then people stereotype them as a gangster. And that gangsters are people that have lots of tattoos, but not.
Itu ini. Itu stereotip. Off-nya jadi gitu. Stereotip. Stereotip sih biasanya wong tuh kok.
Example.
Hey guys, how we all going? Okay.
The evidence that we see isn't just what we see being used purely what we see as evidence for use on the advertising.
Salian, can you hear us?
Yes.
Can you hear us? Alright, Nathan, I will just begin with the exercise. Have we started our considerations as to what is an assumption, what's a stereotype, etc., etc.?
Definisi dulu sobat. What is the stereotype? Ditanya what do you think? Definisi. Stereotype.
Assumptions that have not been proven true and require direct proof, and stereotypes are characteristics that society instinctively attributes to group.
We can hear your voice. She keeps getting left out. You can't hear us? Don't take it personally, Stephanie.